Hi everybody. So I am originally recording this video on December 15th and scheduling to post it on the day before New Year's Eve. So if I am wearing a different outfit, if I make another video on that particular day, that's why I'm trying to get all of my end of the year videos out before Christmas so I can schedule to post them around New Year's Eve, basically. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about my 2023 goals, if I accomplish them, how many of them will carry over into next year's goals, and what goals I am planning for next year. So a majority of the goals that I had made in January had to be postponed because of our move to Maine. That was at the beginning of February. So let's begin. Goal number 1 was exercise more. And this is an ongoing goal because weight loss has been an ongoing goal since January, and I downloaded the Noom app to my iPhone in July, and I have felt like that has held me more accountable for my weight loss journey than I was, because sometimes with the other weight loss apps that I had, I wasn't good about remembering to log my meals and my exercise, but Noom has definitely been holding me more accountable. So basically, each day I log my breakfast, I log my morning exercise, I log my lunch and my afternoon exercise, and then my dinner and whatever snacks I have. But because I'm trying to lose weight, I am making a better effort to replace more snacks with water. And for those of you who do not know, I started a volunteer job at the Boys and Girls Club in my new hometown at the end of September. I had originally started out helping the kids with their homework, but then I got relocated to the gym because they needed my help more often, and that has really helped with my weight loss because I am shooting hoops in between the changeover times of the different groups of kids coming into the gym. And then I am also participating in the sports games that they play. Like, for example, last week they did a lacrosse clinic, and I participated in that and played lacrosse, played one game of lacrosse where I was tossing the ball back and forth, and then for the rest of the time I was goaltending, which was fun. And then for example, yesterday we did soccer drills, and that was fun too because I played soccer when I was little, and I was always bad about kicking the ball in the wrong net. But yesterday we basically did dribbling and passing drills for soccer, which was easier than actually playing a game and having to be directionally challenged and shooting the ball in the wrong goal. So yes, I volunteer at the Boys and Girls Club on Mondays and Wednesdays for 2 hours a week, and it's been great, and they've been so nice to me, and I really enjoy it. The next goal for 2023 was social media usage. So my goal at the beginning of January was to cut back on my social media usage. I had trouble with this at the beginning of the year because I was watching a lot of YouTube videos to do research for videos that I was making. And I mean, I still continue to do that, but each week I have been noticing by the notification I get on my phone every Sunday morning that my screen time usage has been going down. Like, for example, this past week, I think my screen time was like 9 hours and 34 minutes, down from like 14 hours. And I think what really helps with this is the fact that I'm getting out more often to exercise. Like, as I said, I volunteer at the Boys and Girls Club 2 times a week. Matt and I go to the YMCA more often to exercise, and that helps with my screen time reduction. What also I think helps with that is the fact that I have been cutting down my usage of Instagram because, as I have mentioned in past videos, I was the victim of a scam back in the middle of August where somebody who was pretending to be the recently deceased Matthew Perry stole money from me, claiming he was Matthew Perry and saying he had a book tour coming up that was coming to my area. So I was duped out of money for tickets and backstage passes and an autographed copy of his book, which the autographed copy of his book was the only, like, legitimate thing I actually could have gotten out of the scam. And now that Matthew Perry is dead, I don't really think there's any way I can even get that now, because obviously he has passed away. So I don't think there's any way I can even get that anymore unless I find an autographed copy of his book at like a bookstore or something. But anyway, yeah, I have been really cutting back on using Instagram quite as often since my Matthew Perry scam, because I'm trying to draw less attention to myself by like talking about Friends so much, talking about Matthew Perry's movies, so that way the scammers have less of a way to get in touch with me. And I think that has been really helping my mental health a lot, which is good. Number 3 is my writing. So my initial goal this year was to really pound out of the way all of the writing. I was working in my writing group when I was in the writing group at the Nashua Public Library. And so that way I can focus on my children's book manuscript a lot more. And I joined a writing group at Panera Bread in my hometown a couple of months ago, and that has really been helping me a lot with getting these 2 complete stories out of the way. Like, I am working on finishing some Friends fan fiction that is set after the end of the Joey spinoff, where Joey and Rachel are becoming a couple and moving to Paris together, and like Ross has issues with his temper that he's trying to work out, and it really impacts his relationship with the children, Jack and Erica, the twins of Monica and Chandler, and his own daughter Emma. So that's one story I've been working on. And then the other story I've been working on is a crossover fan fiction between about Annie and Meet Me in St. Louis, where Annie and Molly and their fiancés are planning their weddings. And the chapter that I'm working on for that is basically like a collection of short letters that the older adult characters write to Annie, Molly, and their fiancés, giving them marriage tips. So that is where I'm planning to go with that story. And my goal for 2024 with my writing is to really focus on my children's book manuscript so I can get that to a point where the manuscript is done, complete, and ready to get sent to a publisher. And then when I was on vacation in May for Memorial Day weekend with my family at the beach, my uncle and my cousins and my aunt were suggesting that I should write a play based on my life with a disability, like a 1-act play type of thing. And that is one idea I think I am going to pursue if I ever get my children's book done, or maybe I could write the script at the same time. that I am writing the book manuscript so I can get two things out of the way at the same time, because that would actually be fun if I could get a play script written as well. Number 4 kind of ties in with the number 1 goal of exercising more, and this goal is tap dancing lessons. I had done tap dancing lessons a couple of years ago through Actor Singers when my friend Laura taught them, and that was in like 2015 or 2016 when I was preparing for Actor Singers auditions. And I had fun with it. I didn't end up getting the role. I auditioned for it in the play that required tap dancing. And I have an audition. I'm potentially thinking of auditioning for Mary Poppins in the springtime at a local theater that's down the road from where I live. And tap dancing does work into the aesthetic of Mary Poppins because there are the tap dancing chimney sweeps, but I am not sure if my dance skills are really up to par to audition for the tap dancing chimney sweep part, but I think I'm going to end up auditioning for either Mrs. Corey or Mrs. Brill, but I haven't fully decided yet, and I still have like 5 more months to decide what part I want to audition for, and I'm not going to make that decision until probably April about what part I'm going to audition for in Mary Poppins, but I know it's definitely not going to be the tap dancing chimney sweep. I might take tap dancing lessons again anyway, just so I can get more exercise, but as far as it applying to auditioning for theater parts, I just don't think my dancing skills are up to par enough in order to audition for a tap dancing part. Maybe in a couple of years they will be. I'm not really sure. I hope so, because that would be great. Number 5 is travel plans. So travel plans that we had been planning to do for this whole year have been put off till next year because of how expensive our move was. And we are still trying to like rebuild our bank accounts from how expensive the move was, and then the whole thing I mentioned before with being scammed by the Matthew Perry scammer. So one thing that I really want to do in the coming year as far as travel goes is go to Boston, because around the time that Matthew Perry passed away, they opened a Central Perk coffee house on Newbury Street in Boston, which I am like dying to go to. I have a feeling it's going to be a little bit more expensive than like Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks, but I'm willing to make that splurge because, of course, it's a Friends-themed coffee house, and I love Friends. And I also made some fan art to honor Matthew Perry in my art class, which I framed. And I'm actually thinking of donating it to the coffee house so they can like hang it up there, because I think it would be just the perfect place for it. So I'm thinking of bringing it out with me when I go to Boston. We're also hoping to go to New York to see a Broadway play, because it has been a hot minute since we were last in New York. The last time we were in New York, we saw, I think it was Jersey Boys? No. Maybe. I don't remember. It was in 2016 or 2017 when we last went to New York, so it was before COVID-19 way before COVID-19 shut things down. And there is this awesome new musical that is on the top of my list to see. It's called How to Dance in Ohio, and all of the actors in it are autistic, so I am very excited as somebody who has an autism spectrum disorder to see a musical that has actors that have my disability on stage, because that, as an actor who has autism, it is going to be so great for that representation in a Broadway show. and I'm super excited to go see that. And then I think we are also planning to go to Vermont, possibly for our anniversary. 6 is balancing theater with other hobbies. So this has been put off because obviously I'm not doing any theater related things right now, like with acting or working backstage for plays. But before I moved, that was one thing I was really struggling with, was balancing my schedule with theater and the other hobbies that I have, especially during COVID-19, when I was isolated. I developed a lot of new hobbies. And once the pandemic lifted the restrictions of being able to be out of isolation, I was trying to figure out a way to balance my new hobbies, which are photography and cooking, with theater. And I'm going to slowly work myself back into auditioning for plays again. As I was saying a couple of minutes ago, I'm planning auditioning for a local production of Mary Poppins, but that audition isn't until like May. So I have a little bit of more time to prepare and do voice lessons again and contact my friend who's a voice teacher, Jen. I will be reaching out to you soon, so look for a message. So yes, that will be an ongoing goal once I start slowly working my way back into auditioning and rehearsals and long tech week rehearsals, because it will be a life-work balance with balancing my new job and other hobbies with theater, which is a passionate hobby. Number 7 is watch a new TV show. So, as people can probably tell by all of my videos that I have done this year, everything has been focused around Friends. Watching the show, analyzing and reviewing the episodes, making videos about who the relatable characters are, what jokes hit it off with us, which jokes I never understood as a kid that I understand much better now, etc. And also reading Matthew Perry's memoir and reviewing it. Basically, a lot of content on my Instagram and YouTube has been centered around Friends. My goal for this year is is not watch Friends as often and talk about it so much, because what I have come to realize over time is that not everybody is really a big of a fan of Friends as I am. They're not as into it. They click past all my videos about Friends because they don't like it. So one of my goals for 2024 is to introduce myself to a new TV show. Like, for example, in July, when my cousins from New Jersey were visiting, and we were at lunch before the Barbie movie, they recommended to me this show called Kim's Convenience, which is what I'm checking out, definitely. And I started watching Abbott Elementary before the writer's strike that happened in the fall, because my sister had recommended it to me in 2022. And basically what Abbott Elementary is a show similar to like The Office and Parks and Recreation, but instead of it being about people who work in an office or people who work at a Parks and Rec department, it's all about teachers and their interactions with each other. And the one episode I did watch before the writer's strike, I really liked, so I can't wait to watch it more. And then there are 2 Netflix series that are based on books that I really want to watch. One is based on a book I still need to read, so I'm going to read the book first before I watch the series. That series is based on the book Daisy Jones and the Six, which has Reese Witherspoon in it. I'm excited to watch that series because Reese Witherspoon has been one of my favorite actors for years, ever since the Legally Blonde movies came out in 2002. And I wish I had Apple TV because I really want to watch the whole entire series of The Morning Show up until the current series, because I have been watching clips from current episodes on Instagram of The Morning Show, and I am so happy to see Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon doing another TV show together because, okay, so Christina Applegate and Reese Witherspoon played Rachel's sisters on Friends. And I don't know if it's just because I'm a bigger fan of Reese Witherspoon or what, but I just liked Jill much better than Amy. I don't know if that opinion is unpopular. Christina Applegate and Reese Witherspoon are both fantastic actresses, don't get me wrong, but like, maybe it's because I'm just more familiar with Reese Witherspoon's filmography after Friends, and I haven't really seen a lot of other shows with Christina Applegate in them, or any movies with her in them. Like before she did Friends, she was on Married with Children, which I watched at Nick at Night when Friends was originally on the air. And now Friends is on Nick at Night, so that's how I have been binge watching it, because I don't get HBO Max. But yeah, I like Jill better than Amy, because in the episodes where Amy was in, I just thought she was really mean and rude, and she said really mean things to Monica and Chandler that I didn't like. And she also pierced baby Emma's ears without Rachel's permission, which really made me mad. And then the other TV show series based on a book that's on Netflix that I want to watch is Little Fires Everywhere. Little Fires Everywhere is a book on Celeste Nig by Celeste Nig. And I love the book. I believe I rated the book like an A+ or a B- in between that ranking. I don't remember the exact ranking, but I'm excited to watch the series because the book was fabulous. Celeste Nig's writing is really good. You should definitely read Little Fires Everywhere and Our Missing Hearts, because both of those books are fantastic. And finally, focus on hobbies developed during COVID-19. So, as far as this goal is concerned, I mentioned in a previous goal that when I was not doing theater during COVID-19 and I was in isolation, I developed a lot of hobbies, like a lot of other hobbies, like nature photography and cooking. So I'm hoping to expand more on those hobbies during this year. Matt and I are probably going to also work together on putting together a cookbook of our favorite recipes that we make, or that we have been making from various cookbooks that we have, and also from favorite family recipes. So that's something we're going to be working on. And I also want to, if I have enough money, take a photography class, if I can find one to take at like a community center or something, because that will also help with putting the cookbook together. So that way I can like take aesthetically pleasing photos of like the dishes we make to go into the cookbook, because I'm sure if you guys have been following my Instagram posts, you have been seeing that we have been making recipes from my friend's cookbook. And I have been taking photos of the food that we have made from the cookbook and like reviewing the recipes and rating them. So going off what I have been doing with that, that's why we're thinking of like making our own cookbook. So I think that will be a good thing for both of us to do. So what are your goals for 2024? Leave some of them in the comments. Do we have similar goals? I don't know. We can discuss them. So just leave a comment below. Happy New Year, everybody.